She went from the Goo Goo Dolls to avoiding Brit Hume's calls. Host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast, Kennedy. All right, so Karine Jean-Pierre wrote a book, and her fans are already sharpening their crayons. And it's just what we need, a tell-all from the woman who spent 2 years telling everyone that Joe just had a cold and not rigor mortis. If the title hadn't already been taken, it should be called Art of the Steal. KJP also says she's leaving the Democratic Party. I say God bless her. Not many people have the patience to wait in a line that long. In her book, she says the White House was broken. This after 2 years along a president who wasn't housebroken. KJP also says she's leaving the Democratic Party. I say God bless her. Not many people have the patience to wait in a line that long. Sometimes what they'll do in books is they will mention somebody in the index, and that's where you'll say, oh, that's where they're quoted. So you don't realize they're being quoted anonymously in other places. I did that when I interviewed Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Weren't you the sign language interpreter at his funeral?
Yes, I was, Kennedy. So glad that you remember that, young woman. Do you think there'll be any revelations in this book? No?
No, I don't, because she has to examine her own life, and I think she's a pretty empty, vapid person, just based on her performance at the podium, which was completely underwhelming the entire time. So it's like, people make a lot of money when they have compelling stories. Like, people wanted to read Hillary Clinton's first book when she came out of the White House because they wanted to know, you know, what was it like when your husband cheated on you with an intern? What was it like when you murder people and fake their suicide?
Yes.
You know, things like that. No one looks at Karine Jean-Pierre and goes, God, I wonder what her life is really like, because she just walked around like, hello, everyone, where's my binders? Yes. I already answered that question. The president already talked about that. He spoke to that, Peter Ducey. Don't ask me anything. I'm going to slam this binder and I'm going to leave. You're going to be sad. And it's like, who's going to give her money for that?
Yeah.
You know, but you're absolutely right, because if she goes, oh my God, this was so awful, he was so incompetent, then she was a liar the entire time she was up there. And if she goes, he was seriously amazing and you guys are all awful people, then it's like, well, then you didn't see what was going on, and there's not going to be any sources because she is the only source, but it is an empty well.
Pull out the phone, turn the light on.
Us too.
You guys too. It may feel like we are surrounded in darkness right now. There's no question about it. It's been hard to get through.
Yeah, someone's behind on his electric bill. But he's right about it being hard to get through if he's talking about his event, which couldn't draw enough people to fill the venue. The theater was half empty. I've seen larger crowds at my routine physical. And you're all invited. Hey, please. I am dying to hear what you have to say.
With all those lights, I thought he was going to break into Freebird.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing that would have saved this. That guy is so creepy. I imagine in the backstage dressing room, he had done a little tuck and he was dancing nude in front of the mirror. Oh, would you me? I'm Jim Acosta. Yeah.
You know, the incredible thing is Jim Acosta sounds just like your KJP.
Okay, Baker.
Yeah.
You know what? This was so bad. I bet you watched that, thought of it as a form of torture, and you want to go tell your friends at the CIA.
Yeah. It's on a loop right now down in Gitmo.
Oh, my goodness.